Hi, I'm Becky, and this is a 30-minute or thereabouts yoga practice for the runners out there. So whether you're training for an event or you're just running for fun, this practice is designed to support your running by stretching appropriate muscles, but also building strength in particular muscles that support joints like the knee and the hip to help you absorb the impact that comes onto the joints from running. So for this practice, it would be helpful if you've got a yoga strap or something similar, like a tie, a belt, a dressing gown strap, or even a long scarf. And also a yoga brick or something similar, like a hardback book or a firm pillow cushion, something to give you some feedback. And if you don't have those, don't worry, I'll provide options if you don't as well. Okay, so we're going to start lying down on our backs, and if you have a yoga strap or something similar, then just have it close by. So just take a moment to arrive in your body. Just say thank you to yourself for taking this time for yourself to look after your body. Running is so good for building fitness and stamina and strength, but it can also really take its toll on the body if we're not balancing it with rest and stretching and complementary practices. So just saying thank you to yourself for choosing to do this practice. And see how much tension you can let go in this moment. When we're running a lot, we tend to build up a lot of tension in the upper back and shoulders and the face. See if you can just let that go for a moment, dropping the weight of your body into the floor. Taking a couple of slow, deep cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And another one like that. Deep inhale through the nose, filling the lungs, stretching the ribs, and out through the mouth. And then if you have your strap, this is the time to take it. We're going to bend the left leg with the foot on the floor and take a strap or whatever you have around the widest part of the right foot. And we're going to use the strap to open the fascia of the foot, like open the sole of the foot to the ceiling. You can have a bend in the knee as much as you need, but we're looking to move towards opening the space behind the knee as much as we can here. We're flexing the foot. This is really important to draw the toes towards the shin so that we get that stretch into the lower calf as well, which can get very tight with lots of ankles, lots of running. The ankles get very tight with running. Spreading the toes, flexing both the ankle and the toe joint, and we're drawing the foot towards the wall behind us, elongating the back of this leg. No problem to have that bend in the knee though. Loose grip on your strap, and we're relaxing the back into the floor, trying to continue with that sense of relaxation in the upper body. If you wish, for the last couple of breaths, you can slide the left heel down the floor so the left leg is straight with the toes pointing up to the ceiling, so both feet flexed. But just notice what that does to your lower back. You don't want to over compress the lower back, so come back to the bent leg. That feels more spacious. And we're going to take the leg out to the side, so we're stretching all the way around the leg here. So have both ends of the strap in the right hand, left hand just on the floor here, or on the left thigh, and we're going to take the right foot out to the right. Maybe your right elbow comes to the floor as a support, and keep that right foot flexed. Continue to have a bend in the knee if you need, that's fine. And notice how we're now stretching the inner seam of the right leg. Try to keep your left buttock on the floor, your left shoulder blade pressing down through the back of the left heel. Extending out and away through the right heel. Nice, slow, deep breaths through the nose if that feels okay. And then on your next inhale, bring that leg back up to the ceiling. Swap your hands, so we're holding both ends of the strap in the left hand now, right hand on the floor, and do this in 2 stages. Keep that right foot flexed, keep the right buttock firmly glued to the floor. You can even use your right hand to press that buttock down, right thumb in the hip crease, pressing down. And we're bringing the right foot just slightly over towards the left, so towards the centre of the body maybe. Keeping the back of the right pelvis down on the floor. Keep the foot flexed. If you don't feel much, we're looking for a sensation on the outer right leg. draw the foot a little bit closer towards the face. You should, if you're doing a lot of running, feel this one. And then we're going to take it into more of a twist, so extend the right arm out to the right and continue to bring that right leg over to the left, just letting the left leg roll with you, bending the right knee if you need. Maybe your left elbow comes down as a support. And just see what's possible here. Maybe the right foot finds the floor, maybe it's just hovering in the air, it doesn't matter. Keep the foot flexed. Try to encourage or invite your right shoulder blade to descend towards the floor, so we really get this diagonal stretch through the body. Nice deep breaths here. And then at the end of your exhale, draw the lower belly to the front spine, bring your leg back to the center, and release the strap and just hug the right knee into the right side of the chest. You can hold the back of the right knee or the front of the right knee, and keep that knee where it is with the right hand, and inhale, stretch the left arm back, keeping the back of the ribs on the floor here. So try not to pop the ribs up and arch the spine. Press forward through the left heel, toes to the ceiling, reach back through the left fingertips, and just circle the right ankles, getting a bit of ankle mobility, and change direction. Breathe into that space you're creating around the front of the left hip area. Nice psoas muscle stretch. And then we'll swap sides. So start with the right knee bent and the foot on the floor. Actually just bring both feet to the floor and check you're centrally aligned in the spine and the pelvis. And then raise your left foot, take the strap around the widest part of the left foot. If you don't have a strap or anything, you can just hold the leg, interlace your hands and hold the leg wherever you can. Nice release, loose grip on the strap. Flex the left foot, bending the knee is absolutely fine, but we're stretching up through the heel, pressing down through the back of the pelvis, and we're drawing the toes to the wall behind you here. Breathing deep, hamstring stretch, calf stretch, all these muscles get super tight when we're running. And again for the last couple of breaths, you can extend the right heel down the mat with the toes up to the ceiling if you wish. Both feet actively flexed. And then we're going to hold both ends of the strap in the left hand. Right hand can anchor down right thigh or just be on the floor. And we start to take the left leg out to the left. Maybe the elbow finds the floor. Keep the foot flexed, bend the knee if you need. And try to anchor down through the right side of the body. So back of the right heel, right buttock, right shoulder blade, and right hand all pressing down like an anchor. So your chest and belly are pointing straight up to the ceiling, not tipping over to the left. And then at the end of your exhale, find some core awareness, press the lower belly to the front spine as you bring the leg back to the centre and swap over here. So holding both ends of the strap in the right hand, release your left hand to the side. And again, let's just do it in those two steps. So you might be able to see better here. You can hook the left thumb into the left hip crease to encourage that buttock to stay glued to the floor as you keep that left foot strongly flexed and take the foot slightly over to the right. For me, this is super intense around the outer left ankle and lower calf, which is great. We want to stretch these tight areas, even though it's intense. And then we go a little bit further, turn it into a spinal twist, release the left arm out to the left, and continue to bring the left foot over to the right, letting the right leg just come with you, so passive in the right leg, but left foot stays flexed. And when you get to your edge, just breathing into this outer seam of the left leg now. If we keep that left foot actively flexed, then again we get the stretch all the way down to the outer calf, lower leg and outer ankle. And then at the end of your exhale, draw the lower belly to the front spine, bring that leg back to the centre, release your strap if you're using one, draw the left knee into the left side of the chest and keep hold of it, either holding back or front of the knee with the left hand, and then inhale, reach the right arm behind you, keeping the back of the rib cage on the floor. So even if your hand doesn't touch down, that's fine. It's more important to keep the contact with the back ribs and get the hand all the way back to the floor. So make sure you're not arching the spine here. And then we're pressing forward through right heel, reaching back through right fingertips, and we're circling the left ankle. Nice, slow, deep breaths, and then we're changing the direction of the foot circles, ankle circles. And then we're going to take a happy baby. So lift the right leg up as well, and if available, we're going to bring the knees wide and the shins vertical and see if we can take hold of the little toe edge of the feet, or some people prefer the big toe edge. If that is not available, you could hold the ankles, or you could rest the hands on the backs of the knees. You could even, if it's better for you, just let the heels flop towards the buttocks and hold the front of the knees, but make sure the knees are wide here, so we're getting this stretch into the inner thighs. Nice deep breaths. Take your breath all the way down to your belly, your lower back, the hinge of your body. It takes a lot of strain when we're running. And then we'll transition to Supta Baddha Konasana, so we bring the soles of the feet towards each other. Maybe they even compress together. And if available, we hold the feet, so the heels are close to the groin now. Or we hold the ankles and try to have the big toes touching or as close together as possible. Or again, we just hold the knees. The knees are wide and we try to bring the big toes towards each other or to touch. So do what is possible for your body, listening to your body. Breathing into that inner thigh stretch. Nice deep breaths. And then Apanasana, bringing the inner thighs together and just hugging the knees to the chest with the thighs together now. So hugging around the front of the knees or the back of the knees. And you just tune in. It might just feel really nice to be still here and just take some nice deep breaths into your lower back. Or it might feel nice to just have a little bit of a lower back massage, moving the knees side to side, or even just little circles to massage the sacrum. And then coming back to stillness if you moved. And we're going to find our way to hands and knees. So take your time, maybe just coming to one side, pressing yourself up. And we'll come to tabletop, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And just cat-cow spine with a bit of foot awareness. So inhale, the toes tucked under, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, tap the toenails down, press the spine to the ceiling, chin to the chest. So mobilizing the spine, stretching all of the back muscles. And the front getting a nice stretch in the cow on the inhale, and then exhale, really stretching all the muscles along the spine as you stretch the spine up to the ceiling. Just do one more in your own time. And then just a little bit of core awareness. We need a strong core for running. Just tuck your toes. We're going to hover the knees off the floor like a couple of centimetres, and we're going to press through the hands. And then we're going to take the right foot back, and then the left foot back, and then the right foot forward again, back to where it was, and the left foot forward. Try not to move the hips, and then the left foot back, so plank, right foot back, left foot forward to where it was, right foot forward to where it was. Hover the knees a little bit more, and then lower, down. Keep the big toes touching, take the knees wide, come onto the tops of the feet and slide the hips back into the wide knee child's pose. And it's up to you. You can take the hands forward, or you can bend the elbows, take the forehead onto the back of the hands. Let's take some slow deep breaths here. Okay, and then bring yourself up to tabletop. We're going to come into a sequence that's really good for building strength and stability in your joints, in the legs. So have your hands just ever so slightly in front of the shoulders, tuck your toes, lift your hips and come to downward dog. Downward dog is your friend. If you're a runner, it's helping to stretch and open the upper back and stretch the whole of the back body. So you might need to bend the knees, come on, lifting the heels. Doesn't matter if the heels come to the floor or not, but once you get to your kind of best place here to feel that stretch in the spine, like you're pushing the floor away, sending the hips up and back, Maybe you start to open the space behind the knees a little bit, dropping the heels towards the floor. But just do what's right for you. Knees can stay totally bent. And then at the end of your exhale, look forwards, and we're going to bring the right foot between the hands. So you might not be able to step it forward from there. You might need to come onto your knees, pick up the foot and bring it forward. Come onto the top of the left foot and bring the left knee to the floor. And then we're going to inhale our way up. And just step this right foot back in a little bit so everything's at right angles. We're going to just bring the hands onto the hips for a moment and actually tuck that back toe under, the left toe under. And we're just going to glide the hips forward. So we're dropping the tailbone, we're not arching the lower spine, we're kind of dropping the tailbone, almost pushing the hips forward, posterior tilt. And then we just kind of slide the hips forward. The right knee can come in front of that ankle, or you can move the right foot forward a little bit if it's more comfortable. So we're looking for this stretch on the front of the left hip, especially on the inner left thigh and hip. And then we're going to inhale, raise the hands, and we're going to bring the right forearm in front of the left and see if we can press the palms together. So we're like spiraling the forearms and the hands. And then we're going to try and press the hands back, still dropping the tailbone, still squeezing the hips kind of forwards. Maybe we lift the gaze slightly, pressing the palms together if we can in this spiraled shape. And then bringing the hands down, come onto the top of that back foot, maybe take the right heel forward slightly and just slide the hips back enough so that you can open out the back of that right knee, enough for you to feel that hamstring stretch. So again, the knee can be bent if you need, and we fold over that right shin for half splits, half Hamonasana. Keeping that right foot very actively flexed, toes to the ceiling. Nice deep breaths. And then from here, we're going to bring the sole of that right foot down, fingertips either side of the foot, and we're going to drop the hips low now, coming into this Anjaneyasana, the crescent moon. And we're going to turn it into a quad stretch. So this may or may not work for you. Left hand below the shoulder, lean into it, turn to the right and just reach your right hand back so it's like a twist. And you can stay here, or if it's available, you can bend the left knee, see if you can find the top of the left foot with your right hand and then squeeze the heel to the buttock, stretching that quad. If you can't find that bind or the hamstring starts to cramp, just skip this, just reach back with the right fingertips. But otherwise, a great opportunity to stretch your big quadruped muscle at the front of the left thigh. And then if you've got the foot release, come back to the front, tuck the back toe under, lift the back knee. Still with your left hand under your shoulder. If you need to bring the floor closer to you, you could use your brick. You could put your hand on the brick. Now a twist. Turn to the right, right hand on hip, and if it's available, stretch it up to the ceiling. Pressing down through left hand, up through right hand, and really press down through your right foot, especially the heel and the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe. And then bring that right hand down, just come to the ball of the left foot, facing forward. This is sometimes called the runner's lunge, so your right knee is above the ankle and we're stretching the left heel back, reaching the crown of the head forward. Now we're going to really challenge the strength in the legs, building strength around the knee joint and the hip joint by coming up to the high lunge. So raise yourself off the floor, reach the hands up, squeeze your left buttock, your left glute to draw the left heel back, press through the heel of the right foot. I know it's strong work in the legs, but this is going to really support your running practice, your joints. Final challenge, core strength, bring the chest forward so we're creating a diagonal line from your left heel to your fingertips. And then we're going to spin the back foot, bring the sole of the back foot down, bring the right elbow onto the right thigh and stretch your fingertips out with the palm facing down and look up to your left hand. So we've got a side body stretch. Some of you might be able to bring your right fingertips down behind the right foot to the floor or to a block. Press through the back foot, especially the little toe, to press through the front heel. Then bring that left hand down and just step back to downward dog and really feel that energy in your right leg. Strong work. I'm just going to flip sides so you can see me. Okay, and when you're ready, we're going to bring the left foot between the hands, so come onto your knees and bring it forward if you need. And just lower the right knee, foot in as you bring yourself up to this kind of right angle position, hands on the hips, drop the tailbone and glide the hips forward. So we're not coming into a back bend, we're going to do that in a moment, but keep this kind of upright neutral spine, and then inhale, raise the hands, and this time bring your left arm, forearm in front of the right, spiral your forearms, see if you can press the palms together, and then draw the hands backwards, reaching up to the ceiling. If you need to, bring that left foot forward a little bit, keep dropping the tailbone, keep squeezing the kind of hips forwards, almost like you're tucking the pelvis under a little bit. And then exhale, bring the hands down and bring the left heel forward slightly, lift the left toes up to the ceiling, come onto the top of the right foot and take that half splits forward fold, folding over your left shin here, feeling the stretch on the back of the left leg, bending the knee if you need. Okay, and then bring the sole of that left foot back to the floor and your hands are framing the left foot now, and now we're going to slide and sink the hips forward, and we're coming to this quad stretch. So we're going to bring the right hand underneath the right shoulder, we're going to twist to the left, reach the left hand back, and you can stay here, or we can bend the right knee and see if we can find the right foot with the left hand and squeeze the heel to the buttock, finding the quad stretch. Nice deep breaths, breathing with the intensity. Try not to lift the hips up to the heel. Try to keep the hips sinking low and forward and draw the heel to the buttock. And then if you have the foot, release the foot, take the left hand down, framing the front foot, tuck the back toe under, and we're going to take that low lunge twist. So left knee above ankle, right hand underneath right shoulder on a brick if you need. Turn to the left, either left hand to left hip, or reach the left hand up to the ceiling, draw the right heel back, press through the left heel, draw the lower belly to the spine, away from the front thigh, full body integrity here. Exhale, bring the left hand down, just establish the runner's lunge, so fingertips under the shoulders, draw the shoulders down away from the ears, stretch the right heel back, press through the left heel, draw the crown of the head forwards. And we're going to load up that front thigh, bring ourselves up to the high lunge, so lifting your torso, raising your hands, squeeze the right buttock, keep drawing the right heel back. Nice deep breaths, lovely opening in the chest here. And then we're going to bring the hands forward slightly, so we're in a diagonal line from the right heel to the right fingertips, pressing through the left heel. Feel that really building strength and stability around the left hip. And then finally, spin the back foot, bring the left elbow onto the left thigh, and the right arm comes up and over close to the ear, palm facing the floor, and then we look up to that right palm to open up the chest here, side angle pose. We're finding a straight line from right heel to right fingertips, possibly some of us bringing the left hand down, but without lifting up the hip. The hip lifts, just stay the elbow on the thigh. Finding that side body opening. And then bring that right hand down, step back to downward dog. Just take a moment, breathing into the back body. And then we'll take a child's pose, so bring the knees down this time together and sink the hips back on the heels, and this time bring the hands back to the feet and let the shoulders just flop forward, forehead on the floor. Just take a few breaths here, breathing into your lower back, your hips, your buttocks, all getting a nice stretch. So we're just going to take a few closing stretches on the floor, including a little back bend. So when you're ready, we're going to find our way onto our backs. So we're just going to do a back bend and then some just little stretches to close. So bring your heels to your buttocks, about hip distance apart. And if possible, toes pointing forwards. Bring the hands down by your sides, and we're going to really press through the feet, press through the heels and the base of the toes, press through the hands, and lift the hips up to the ceiling. If available, we lean to one side, draw the opposite shoulder underneath, lean to the other side, draw the other shoulder underneath, and maybe interlace the hands beneath the back. Pressing through the balls of the feet like those 3 points, the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe, the back of the heel. Breathe into your front body. Nice deep breaths, opening the front of the thighs, hips. Building strength in the lower back, really important for running. And opening that chest, really important as well. And at the end of your next exhale, release the hands to the floor and slowly wind the spine down to the mat from the upper back to the lower back, letting the sacrum come down last. Just wriggle your shoulders up the mat a little bit, take your feet further down. Take a moment, just resting the spine into its neutral shape into the floor. I'm just going to take a little twist. So you can take your arms wide or close to the side if you prefer. We're going to lift the knees up, flex the feet, and just allow the knees to come over to the right. And we can turn, spiral and look over our left shoulder. Maybe we need support underneath that right leg, a pillow, a blanket, a block. And we can maybe rest the right hand on top of that left thigh to help anchor the thighs down. You can also slip a pillow between the thighs. And again, see if we can invite that left shoulder blade to descend towards the floor. So a little bit of a moment of feeling that opening in the upper chest here, that left side of the upper chest, getting a nice opening, as well as outer left hip and thigh. And a little spinal twist. And then at the end of your exhale, just draw your lower belly in towards the front spine. Bring your knees back up to the centre, check your alignment. And with the feet flexed and the knees, inner knees together, inhale centre and exhale, let the knees come out over to the left. Spiralling your head if that's comfortable for your neck to look over your right shoulder. Finding support for your legs if you need, something underneath the left leg, something between the thighs. Maybe resting left hand on right thigh, inviting release of the right shoulder blade towards the floor. Feeling that lovely diagonal stretch through the body. From right knee, outer right thigh, outer hip, up the side body, and into that right upper chest and shoulder. Nice slow deep breaths as we move towards the end of the class, just breathing fully, especially the exhales, nice long full exhales, the releasing part of the breath cycle. And then at the end of your exhale, just draw your lower belly back to the front spine to find your core awareness as you bring your knees back up to the centre. And just give yourself a hug here, hugging the knees into the chest one more time. Maybe, before we take our final resting posture, final burst of energy, we lift the head up towards the knees, contract the front body, squeeze everything in. So use your forearms like pincers to squeeze the thighs together, flex the feet, and bring your head close to the knees, like a little dense cannonball. And then we release and we find Shavasana, our final resting posture, really important posture. Feet slightly wider than the hips, flopping out to the side, arms away from the side, palms up, check your central alignment. And we'll take a couple of minutes here. If you have time and it feels delicious to be in Shavasana for longer than when I indicate to come out, you just stay where you are. Take the time you have. So just scanning the body, notice if you might be holding on to tension anywhere, just release, especially lingering your awareness in the upper back, the neck, on the face, check there's a gap between your teeth. Softly closing the eyes if that's comfortable, relaxing the muscles around the eyes. Check you're not frowning. And just take rest, feel the effects of the practice in your body, probably especially your legs. And then if you're ready to close the class with me, just deepening your breath. Starting to move the fingers and the toes, maybe taking a big stretch through the body. And maybe bringing the knees in one more time to the chest, a little rock. And then when you're ready, just bring yourself up to seated, rolling to one side, pressing yourself up. And maybe just bringing the hands together at the centre of the chest, just again sending thanks to yourself for taking this time to practice, just consciously closing the class in your own way. Thank you for sharing this practice with me, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.